Hey everybody, Joe Misfit Glenn here. Welcome to A Minute with Misfit. I am here with Vetcodes own Brennon Avants. Brennon, say hey.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm kind of new to the group. I think I've been around for about 2 months, but I've been in this game since 2017. So I'm not a newbie to it, and I know quite a few of you already. So wonderful group.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Well, welcome to the group, and thank you for your service.
I appreciate that.
All right, and so guys, first thing I wanted to say, this is a recording. The comments I will see later at a different date, but I will get to you if you have any comments or questions. Okay. So today, like I said, we got Brennon Avants here. He's a Vetcodes member and an advocate for cannabis. So Brennon, tell me a little bit about yourself. Let's start off with that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so born and raised in California, don't hate me. But I did spend the majority of my growing years in adult life in the Army, enlisted straight out of high school, and then served 21 years. Traveled all over the world, got married, had a kid, and just met a whole bunch of great people. So, it's pretty much me.
Awesome, man. Well, once again, 21 years, man. That's a good on you. I appreciate your service again, man. Okay. So what have you been up to since the service, man?
Yeah. So honestly, I think everybody who serves any amount of time in the military, when it comes time to get out, whether you do 4 years or 30, you're trying to figure out what the hell you're going to do when you grow up. Pretty common phrase. What do I want to do on the real world, outside in the real world? But I really had no clue what I wanted to do. End of my career, I was flying Black Hawk helicopters. That was what I called my mid-career crisis with a smile. Really, it was because I got sick and tired of being deployed as an artilleryman to do infantry stuff. I figured I'd go fly helicopters. So everybody thought that's kind of what the route I would go when I was done with my service. But I honestly really enjoyed disaster relief work. I was at Fort Carson in Colorado. There's a whole nother story to that, how I got started with cannabis. But and I helped out on a disaster relief operation of theirs, and I kind of just focused on that. First, I thought FEMA. I was chasing dollar signs, 6-figure salaries, and then I looked at the requirements, and it was still in that government cog. And I was just kind of ready to stop working for the government. So 2017, moved myself and my family to Texas, and had a job in a little town called Kerrville, right along the Guadalupe. Got a house in Bernie, so right outside San Antonio, and just did that for about 4.5 years. And honestly, damn near burned myself out, man. I was carrying 2 phones around 24/7. The one for work would always stay turned on because anybody had a house fire or a flood. But I mean, it was really rewarding. I enjoy working in the nonprofit world. It's a whole different animal, but sometimes it tends to be slower paced, and so now I work for Operation Homefront, which is a national, nonprofit that supports military families. It's a pretty cool gig.
Yeah. What kind of support do you guys give?
Yeah, so all throughout the year, I coordinate programs, two annual ones in 10 different areas, actually in Texas. I support the bulk of Texas. I'm all the way up to Wichita Falls, so close to the Red River where you're at, Joe, and all the way down to the coast, out to El Paso for Fort Bliss. But we put on family support programs. I love doing the Back to School Brigade. We do them up in Oklahoma, all around you too. So, and all across the nation. If you're a veteran and or active duty military folks, tell them they don't have to go out and buy a backpack every year. We get backpacks, we give them out for free. And then we partner with Dollar Tree stores and we just stuff them with as many collected donations of school supplies we can, just to help offset that. And then like what I'm ramping up for right now, we do some pretty badass holiday meals for a military program. You're allowed to sign up and go to one too, Joe, if you want, but they're pretty cool events. It's either a gift card only where you'll get like a $60-$70 gift card. And so, the veteran family can go, or the active service member family can go to their store of choice and buy what they need for a Thanksgiving or a Christmas dinner. Or there are events where we hand out all of the ingredients, sometimes even a frozen turkey. So it's pretty much like you leave with a box and the turkey, and then a lot of times a $10 to $25 gift card case we forgot anything or there's special
Right.
dietary restrictions. But, I've done baby showers in Killeen outside of Fort Hood. Sorry, it's Fort Cavazos now. But I was always at Hood. My orders say Hood,
Right.
it's be Hood to me. But no, we do like baby showers for new and expectant mothers and families. We do like spouse appreciation events. I mean, it's a pretty cool gig. I get to get back to the community I was in for 2 decades of my life, and then of course, Vetcodes is veteran related, and then with my advocacy work, it focuses on veterans too. But I mean, that's pretty much that gig, man. It's a lot of cool events and just really supports the families. We have robust housing programs. I don't deal with those. There's also financial assistance available for folks that might be struggling up to 10 years post discharge too. You don't have to pay that crap back. I never knew, but if you're 3 months behind on your mortgage, the economy's crap. We realize that we can cover up to 3 months of someone's rent, their mortgage, any critical housing repairs they may need, or even like modifications based off of disabilities. Just a whole slew of things, car payments. I've seen us stock people's fridges with HEB or other grocery store products, spend about $500 because that was their pressing need,
Right.
So just a whole slew of things that we do. It's pretty cool.
Wow. And this is nationwide?
Yeah, it's nationwide.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're a veteran, I mean, look into the programs. We'll buy you. That's what I love telling people when I meet them on the streets.
Sure.
And I'm telling them about what we do. And I'm like, how about if I tell you I'm just going to buy your Thanksgiving dinner? I'll give you the turkey too. I was like, how can you say no to that? All you got to do is just create an account, sign up, and it's not charity. It's not at all. That's what we try to tell people. This is a thank you, not a handout.
Right.
It's not because you don't know how to manage your money or whatnot. Times get tough sometimes, crap happens. But mainly it's just, these donations we get to fund these wonderful events. It's a thank you. And it's nothing but. So go take advantage of it, please. Make me work harder.
I think it's great that you're working with the family support. It doesn't get said enough about the importance of the family group, the family unit, the ones that deal with the veteran, the ones that have to, live right next to all the problems that the veteran has. I've been trying to come up with a way to support the Vetcodes family support group, if you will.
Yeah.
I haven't really came up with that idea yet, but maybe soon. I really appreciate that idea. It's something that I've been caring about for a long time, man.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I mean, anything that we can do to give back. And I love how you tie it into the families and what they, what they put up with us sometimes, with our disabilities, our mental issues. I mean, whatever it is, fatigue, tiredness, and I mean, of course, that's a good segue into what we're going to talk about.
Sure. And I mean, I've been married 31 years. And so thinking about what my wife has been through my, whatever recovery, if you will, it got me thinking of every other veteran's spouse, and they need their kudos too. They need their recognition and their support. But so tell me about what this led to, man. Let's talk about that program you got going on.
Yeah. So honestly, another Vetcodes member, Jason Walker, he's also the one that sent me the invite for Vetcodes. You ran into him, Joe, at a CannaCon. Unfortunately, unfortunately, we don't live 2.5 hours apart now. It's closer to probably like 6 to 8. I don't know how long it takes to drive to Norman anymore. But so when I was leaving the service, and then throughout like the first couple of years, 4 years, actually 5, 6, let's be honest. I was still consuming alcohol. That was kind of my crutch, and it's a crutch a lot of us develop in the service. It's damn near celebrated to consume alcohol. It's expected after you come back from the field or a deployment, and there's all the jokes, don't drink, a whole year's worth, like you're making up time. But of course, they knew everybody would. But anyway, I got out. But thankfully, when I was getting out, I was blessed to have been living still in Colorado. That was my last assignment. So I really just talked to the wife and said, fuck it. After I out-processed, I was still in uniform, and I drove up to Manitou Springs. That's where the rec shops were. I went to Maggie's farm, and I had no clue. It had been since high school, really, since I had smoked any weed. And so I ordered just a gram of the mildest stuff I can find on the menu. Realized I didn't have a pipe. They thanked me for the service, gave me a 10% discount plus a 10% discount, so 20 total for my service as I'm in uniform doing this. I was a warrant officer at the time too, so mind you, I'm sure I got some pretty cool looks. But had my pipe and everything, and went home, smoked a couple puffs, and just forgot about that 24-ounce can of Budweiser Killer sitting next to me. Got warm, got nasty, just sticked in my head. Fast forward back in Texas, land of prohibition, don't know anybody, laugh when I'm getting my household goods unpacked because they're those empty tubes that I bought from Maggie's Farms. They were empty, unfortunately. Fucking just threw that shit in the boxes. And I'm like, man, I could have at least had some, some gifts. But, my wife helped me start reaching out to other groups and finding maybe some organizations just so I can make friends. People in Texas aren't going to help you out. Just some weird random person off the street for the most part. And I was relying, honestly, 100% on CBD, which it wasn't doing it. Didn't help with my sleep, didn't help with my restless legs, didn't help with my mood swings or anger issues, any of that. But, I got involved with Jason in a group called Texas Veterans for Medical Marijuana. Should have been, I think it's been around for about a decade now, but big force in the legislature, closely aligned back then with Texas Normal. And it was just a lot of advocacy work. The activism was very soft-handed, suit and ties, and kissing people's asses. And, just wasn't really a feel for me. I enjoyed being in the parades and marching and, actually seeing and hearing public supports when we're marching with medical marijuana banners, and Veterans Day parades and joking, you got any gifts, where's the goodies, and whatnot. You can see the support, but and I mean, because of that group, I was able to make some good connections. And of course, as the cannabis program, how limited it is here in Texas, I'm talking on the legal side, the Delta 8 stuff, all of the THCA flower that's out now, which is damn fine medicine. It finally started doing its job, and I was getting good stuff, but joined the Teacup program, Texas Compassionate Use Program. Not much of a program, definitely not compassionate with the prices and the limitations and restrictions, no flower, nothing inhalable, which a lot of us need that immediate relief. We can't wait 30, 40 minutes, sometimes an hour, just to see if our dose is correct. It's too
exactly. Mm-hmm.
But so no, I just got involved with them. And after we got PTSD added, the group just kind of fell off. I noticed there really wasn't much involvement or anything. So the opportunity presented itself about 2 weeks ago that myself and another longtime cannabis activist here in Texas, Navy veteran Romana, and she's down in South Texas around the Houston area. We joined forces and rebranded the organization to what it is now. Exact same symbol made by the exact same awesome cannabis activists. We just swapped out marijuana for cannabis to differentiate the groups. Fired up our social media pages, bought a website. We started buying swag and everything, but we're really ramping up for January 14th, 2025, and getting everything in place for hopefully a pretty large veteran-led march to the Capitol building in Washington. We should do that too, in Austin. On day one of the legislative session. And that's kind of the dream and the goal that we're going to be striving for, and not just veteran of the military. We want to include law enforcement, fire, EMS, other folks who are out there serving tough hours, doing tough jobs, under difficult situations. They're veterans and heroes to me as well. So we want to include them. Plus, we're hoping their added voice will add some more weight to the lieutenant governor and his Senate that loves to just let bills die on the desk, not even being floored, and no discussion, no conversation, no debate. It says cannabis, we're just going to ignore it. So we're hoping the veteran community voice collectively can make an impact to hopefully all of the other voters in Texas that love and support their military, do the right thing and support us in getting an actual legit program at the very least. But I'm a firm believer that if we turn Texas green, the rest of the country is just going to follow suit very rapidly, because birthplace of prohibition against marijuana is right here in Texas, El Paso. And we're still arresting people for, a joint there. They are. It's sad. When we're surrounded by it, we're surrounded by good medicine. We're just not allowed to touch it unless we want to go through Texas Original, or Good Blend and spend $100 for 30 fucking gummies. It's highway robbery, Joe, is what I think of it. To me, it equates to kind of how insulin pricing hasn't it been lately. When people raise a ruckus about that, no one wants to raise a ruckus about what they're doing to Texas cannabis patients. I talked to a gentleman just yesterday, 100% disabled, and just got added to our program, and it cost him $700 a month for his medicine. $700 a month, man.
That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
So, think of what you can buy in a legal state for $700. Be set for a quarter. So, but that's kind of what I've been doing. I'm also helping out a buddy. Start up him and another set of business owners start up Youth Spark Ventures. It's an initiative based in New Braunfels, very focused on the youth and youth entrepreneurs and teaching youth how to manage money. They do credit counseling for teens classes, and we're setting up for a big December youthpreneur market and seeking sponsors for that. But essentially, we're going to Shark Tank these young entrepreneurs that we're currently actually receiving cool 60-second videos, and they're these kids, they know how to use technology and TikTok and stuff like that like nothing else, and we're getting great videos of them bragging about their businesses and whatnot. But the whole event is to showcase the youth, link them up with industry partners that are kind of in the same segment as what their youth business is, and just provide some general knowledge and guidance and the stuff they don't teach in schools, getting people into being business owners, because this country was built on the middle class working back, and small businesses are what keep it afloat, not these big corporations. So I got my hands in quite a few pots right now, my regular job, and then my activism, and then helping my friends start up this event gig that's focused entirely on kids 8 through 16 years old.
Well, I can appreciate how the 3 different things that you spoke about literally cover the whole family unit, man. It's all inclusive, not just the veteran, but all the support that the veteran gets, the children of the veteran, the spouses of the veteran, all that stuff. That's really, really commendable, man. I appreciate all that you do, man. I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's
that,
incredible.
Man. Honestly, 3 years ago, I was a 100% different person. My life was focused on, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and how fast can I get a beer cracked and get a buzz going? And it drove everything, including my work ethic. And I really had no social life, and I was fine with that. I thought that was just that's my life for now.
Right.
Before I really, really got serious about using cannabis as medicine and cutting out the stuff that wasn't good for me and wasn't healthy for me, both physically, and emotionally, mentally. It's just changed everything. And now I have the drive and the energy. I actually feel like I can accomplish things.
Right.
I think before I was just going through the motions. This is my life, and I'm meant to get drunk every night. And if it kills me, so be it. That's I never once said that to myself or said it to anybody, but it's amazing. A year and a half sober, my clear-headedness, and being able to realize exactly why, and just talking myself through why did you do that, Brennan? Is it because you enjoyed feeling drunk? No. And I hated the way it felt the next day. It's just, it's a crutch, man.
Yeah, man. You tend to hide. You tend to hide when you drink. Some of us got a lot of stuff to hide from, but you know what? Can't hide from it forever. That's the truth.
True
so
story.
Congratulations on your 1.5 year sobriety, my man.
Appreciate that. Hasn't been easy, but I can tell you it's been a hell of a lot more fun.
I got you, man.
Getting out, going to concerts, farmers markets, trying to enjoy nightlife as best I can. And I mean, shit, I was just at a Lee Brice concert this past weekend, and man, it was a whole different world watching people violently ill and puking in the corner, not even been able to enjoy the show near the end of it. And I'm like,
Right.
Oof, why do you do that? You know,
Yeah.
kind of be a hypocrite a little bit, but it's like, why are you doing that to yourself?
So, man, and one thing I wanted to mention, since I thought it was a really cool deal, tell me about what you just received yesterday in your emails.
Oh, I'm a social butterfly, I guess now.
Yes.
I think it's funny. So I love LinkedIn. I didn't really use it much. I went through the transition programs, getting out of the military, had to build a LinkedIn page or whatnot. In between losing my job with the Red Cross and getting my current job, I managed to get into a program called 4Block, and it's for transitioning or post-transition veterans. And it's kind of like any transition assistance program on steroids. And they kind of got me to understand the importance of social media. And I'm like, I'm just doing this to graduate this program too. It helps me get a job, and maybe I'll maintain it. But I've noticed it's helped me in every aspect, professionally, personal goals, just building connections and resources. And lo and behold, I stopped drinking, and I figure out that this self-proclaimed introvert, which, don't get me wrong, I do love just sitting at home and chilling and, just being surrounded by my family unit, and just, I'm not the best keeping in touch with people. Sometimes if you text me, I might just ignore it just because I just don't want to talk at that time. But I've realized I'm actually more of a people person. Thank you, cannabis, for that too. Just because I enjoy being able to kind of make the connections for people. Some people, somebody has a skill set, they need a job, I'll help them, link them up, maybe some contact I have, or bragging on some of my donors, and partners that help me out, bragging on other organizations. I'm wearing a VOSBO hat, Task Force VOSBO. It's a local chamber of commerce just for veteran-owned small businesses. It's an official nonprofit. But just making those right connections and just being like a driving force for good and helping people, any way I can with knowledge I have and resources. But yeah, I got recognized for being like Operation Homefront social media star out of the entire organization. Like I said earlier, we span the US just for posts that I was just putting on, insightful ones. I was up before sunrise and drinking a cup of coffee and watching the sunrise. And I'm like, what do you all do, in the mornings to kind of wake up and prepare for the day? But I got recognized for it. Wasn't expected, got a small gift card coming. But it, I think it kind of feeds into what I'm doing with Texas Veterans for Medical Cannabis. Yeah. I like building good relationships with people and seeing them prosper and succeed, something that's beneficial to all. And I got rewarded at work for just doing what I do. Really,
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff, man. And congratulations for that. It's always good to be recognized for your good work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes I'm not good on taking recognition. I'm one of those that beat myself up. I'm a worst critic, not doing good enough. Why haven't I gotten this contract done? Stuff like that. But yeah, it does feel good. It makes me smile. My wife and daughter got sick of me because every time I would come in the house last night, I'd be like, here comes the social media star. And they're like, my wife looked at me. She's like, realize it's going to get old fucking fast. And I was like, yeah, done.
So I understand that you actually went into doing a little bit extra with cannabis. So are you taking care of your own medicine, or do you strictly only?
Yeah, I'm trying. I think it really comes down to like the change in economy. Even though I'm saving money, obviously not, buying a 6-pack of beer and a couple Tollies and a thing of wine every day. So a good $30 a day, probably. It was the prices building up. And I went in just this past March, and I surprised my dad for his 80th birthday in Cali. Linked up with my best friend, hit up on the North Coast along the ocean for a while. But man, he grows his own medicine there. Him and his wife are patients. They're allowed each 4 and 4, veg bloom. So you're talking 8 plants times 2, 16. And all they grow is sour D. And I liked it when I was there. So he's just like, I brought home a little bag of it, Wife's like, "You're gonna try?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's try. Why not?" So yeah, I grew 2 plants this year. One I put in probably the worst thing in the world. Thank you, Jason, for smacking me upside the head. Went into fucking Miracle Grow soil, and he's like, "You got to get that shit out." So I did, and it stunted it, and it flowered right away. It wasn't even a month old, and it was pre-flowering for a photo reg. You're like, okay, what did I do to this? But yeah, I got a little bit of medicine out of that. Came out smelling kind of hay and grassy. 3 months of cure. It has a little bit of scent, but the last plant, man, it was a pretty good size, and I watched your video, Joe, about the importance of washing. And I was like, okay. And then I watched some other videos about washing, and I was like, man, that's a big layer of film. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not spraying chemicals on mine or anything, but yeah, bugs, insects, birds, squirrels, everything. The first one, I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna smoke it, and caveman style. Didn't think about washing or anything. But
that was my mentality. I never washed before. I was absolutely not, I can't say absolutely, but I never did it. Didn't want to do it until I did it. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do this every time. Yeah.
You're like, don't panic. It's organic. I know what went into it. I don't spray chemicals or pesticides or this shit on it. But then you got to think about everything else. What if your neighbors are spraying their plants with pesticides and chemicals?
Exactly.
It's about a lot more than that. I think it's just really about enjoying it. But yeah, so I grew 2 plants this year. I really am impressed with my second sour diesel. Beautiful plant. It's scent free though, because it grew the entire time in our 100-degree heat. So I mean, it's like a no terp sour diesel. But I mean, the crystals are there. The THC's there. My wife really enjoyed it at the concert. It was a very smooth mellow. So I'm getting that direction slowly. Nice. I mean, I got to be cautious about what I grow and how much and how visible it is.
Sure.
Eventually I might get a grow tent and go indoors. My wife's asked that we don't do that until my daughter is away in college, which it's not her that's the issue. Friends coming over, maybe lingering scents, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I'm getting into that game and having a blast doing it. I bought some Afghan Kush that I'm ready to start for next year, just because I'm like, well, shit, if it grows in Afghanistan, it can grow in Texas. And right now I just popped in a small little strawberry cheesecake auto fem that I got from Sea of Green, and just seeing what that'll do. See if I can get just maybe a couple grams off of it, late fall harvest. But really just learning how, everything about soil pH amendments, when to feed, what to feed, should you feed. I've read a lot about that. Jason's taught me how to top and how to crop them and try to increase some yields and more airflow. But I don't know. It's been fun. I could sit out back and stare at them when they're growing for hours. Like I'm going to watch the grass grow, literally.
Right. Yeah.
It's mesmerizing to me.
It's a therapy. It's therapy for me, just touching the plants, working with the plants, doing, troubleshooting the plants, all that stuff is therapy for me.
Yeah, I just think they're pretty, I mean, looking down on them straight on top, and you get like these fractal images, and getting nice and up close, and looking at the chromies, and being like, man, I'm actually growing my own medicine. This is pretty cool. It might not be the strongest, it might not be the dankest smelling yet, but I mean, it's a good feeling being able to provide for yourself, and I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons I said, yeah, I'll take on more and see what we can accomplish with this next iteration of Texas Veterans for Medical Cannabis. See if a more forthright approach and more of a focus on getting the public support behind us, because I don't think we're going to change legislators' minds if we haven't been able to do it the old way, being and just sending letters, and I mean all that stuff's important. It has its part, it has its piece, but honestly I think the best game plan is just to be out and open. If you're comfortable with that, I don't feel like I have anything to be ashamed of. There's no job protections for me, so I really don't know what would ever happen or come about. But I mean, it's funny. I'm gonna go back to that award I just got yesterday. Everybody knows me, and they know me with my cannabis medicine. They don't know the Brennon. that was dependent on alcohol predominantly and whatnot. But I mean, I just look at it like this, if you respect me enough right now, not knowing that I take cannabis as medicine, it is prescribed to me. I don't care what your doctor prescribes to you, but just getting out there and changing the public's mind and opinion, people have known me for a few years, never knew that I was a cannabis patient. And then it's just like mind blowing to them. It's right. Like, what were you envisioning me to be like if I use cannabis as medicine? Right. What, just tell me what you envision a cannabis, patient to be. Is it either somebody so sickly they can't move, and what you see on TV, or is it, is it back to the Cheech and Chong funny comedy days, what a stoner is, I mean, more successful, driven people, man. We might have some issues, but I think once we dial in what our needs are, it's just a God-saving plant. I mean, it's saved my life. You mentioned that when we were chatting the other day, getting to know each other. Yeah. You say it saved your life. I've heard that from so many veterans, not even just veterans too, just regular people, but predominantly veterans. Any veteran I know that uses cannabis, they've always said the same damn thing. So, I mean, my wife's a part of the fight now. She's been doing all of our graphic design, our flyers, our webpage, and she's been busting butt doing that. Like all hours of the night, if we need a change, she'll hop on and do it. And she does it because she knows this is important to me. So, I mean, everybody asks me, why are you going to do it? You're not going to change anything. And, for me, it's like, if not I, then who, I mean, who else is
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I want everybody from Vetcodes to come and plan a trip to Texas, in 2025, January 14th, and walk and march with us, and make loud noise. Have some good guest speakers, demand that some of our legislators come out and talk to us, because there'll be emails going out to them so they know. And I mean, the Capitol's going to know. I would love to see it at the 10,000 mark that I'm envisioning. And I really got to get permitting started. So, I mean, I'm going to keep that goal of 10,000. And it's not just Texas vets, I mean, it's whoever supports us. They come from other states, whatnot, or if there's ways you can help from afar, we're going to need funding and donations and all that other stuff, but biggest thing is just spreading awareness of of our Instagram, and our Facebook, visiting our page at, TexasVetsForCannabis.com. It's pretty easy to get to. It's the letter 4, but I mean, it's in my blood, I guess, to be a hustler.
And I wanted to go back. We didn't really touch on the whole youth entrepreneur market, did we? I know you mentioned a couple of things about youth, but let's talk a little bit about that, man. That's another brilliant thing. But I want to hear a little bit more about what you're doing for the youth.
Okay. Well, yeah. So it's not really. I'm part of the team, mainly trying to work on the development and partnership side. Getting in-kind donations, helping with the social media aspect. I'm running the LinkedIn for the organization now, and it's fun because I just showed the team yesterday. I was like, hey, we just got 69 searches. Somebody searched for the name specifically, so we're getting awareness. But the trouble is, it's a brand new organization, but it's led by 2 well-established businesses. And one of the businesses is Go Green Botanicals. That is my CBD shop. That's where I get my THCA flower. It's shipped in from Oklahoma, California, Oregon, you name it. It's some of the best medicine I've been able to get my hands on here in Texas consistently. But anyway, it kind of spawned out of them starting a credit for teens class. Go Green and this other business that's owned by their friends called Peer Performance. And they saw a need that, that school systems wasn't addressing, and there really wasn't anything focused on teaching teens how to use credit, right? I mean, my daughter's about to be 18 and go to college. I know when I was 18 and got to Fort Sill, it's nothing private. Out of nowhere, my mailbox just started filling up on free money cards, and just wrecked my credit, bro. When I was in Oklahoma, I was always up in Norman partying, OKC partying, and I wrecked my credit. But I mean, and my daughter's about to be in the same boat. I told her, I was like, you're going to start getting mail unannounced. Here's a $500 credit card pre-approved. Here's 7 or whatnot. But so they started with that. And they'd already been doing a back to school bash for free for the entire community. And I partnered with them on that for school supplies. But they went from 20 backpacks to the community for free with, backpack, school supplies, other stuff to now they do 1,000 every year, completely free. Yeah, it's dope, man. Completely free to the community. And this is the cannabis business that's holding this in the community. They're very well respected and loved there. Changing hearts and minds, bro. This youth entrepreneur market evolved out of the success and the proven success and the scalability of that other event, the back to school bash they did. And so they said, Brennan, you're good at talking to people. Do you think you can help us out with, helping develop some partnerships, maybe land some sponsorships? So it's not just on their two businesses funding the entire thing, but the vision is to have 25 youth, hand-selected youth entrepreneurs there. And their business will be gently evaluated, if you will, just for advice and, to link them up with potentially a professional in another organization that might align with, whatever their business fits into, whether it fits in like computer and tech or arts, and stuff like that, whether it's more on like the industry or labor side, just whatever their business is, food, service, stuff like that. We got a cool one in yesterday. This little girl that makes all these different candies using dry ice, like Skittles will blow up this big and whatnot. It's crazy looking, but
freeze dryers,
freeze dried. And so, we're just gonna bring in these kids, and the highlight is them. There'll be a DJ there. We're gonna have industry sponsors and partners, members of city council, and just to really showcase and highlight like the cool youth businesses that are going on right before the holidays. We're anticipating some holiday themed stuff. And then of course, linking them up one-on-one with our sponsors. And as part of like the return on investment for the sponsors, with the traditional marketing stuff that we'll do, banners, social media posts, media releases, just traditional marketing return on investment for sponsors, but really wanting them to become mentors to these youth businesses and maybe do follow-ups with them, every quarter, help them develop a business plan if they're looking to expand, and just really building something that isn't taught in schools, and a lot of people just have to learn on their own through trial and success, just trying to build that spirit, and like I said earlier in our chat, I believe, that America runs and rides on middle-class shoulders and small business owners, and those are predominantly the middle-class folks. It's not the corporations that keep our economy moving and, and people with roofs over their heads and food on their table. It's those awesome small businesses that are, employing anywhere from 1 to a couple hundred people. That's the impact in the community that we're trying to make and change and emphasis and just get people excited on investing in the youth. Think about what the hell these kids went through with COVID and everything was shut down. We complained as adults. I personally freaking loved it, not having anybody around me, nobody in my personal space. No lie, Joe, I was out every day running errands for people that were afraid to go to the grocery stores and stuff. Yeah. But it had a big impact on my daughter and a big impact on all of her friends, and I watched them grow up missing a year and a half in school, or, fighting to go to school and having to wear a mask all the time, and just all the restrictions and like graduations being lost. And we're like, okay, let's really invest in at least, in this coming up generation, because they went through a pretty, bad time. Yeah. Not able to socialize with your friends. I think, shameful. More of them are probably dependent on networking and friendships using this, and COVID helped exasperate that, but just really getting them appreciated and rewarded and, feeling comfortable, and going, shit, I can make my own money. My daughter, she got her first job a couple months shy of her 15th birthday, and fancy restaurant here in Boerne, Texas. And, one of the most renowned places called the Dinger, and they made her a hostess or whatnot, and just the pride in her face when she brought home even that first little check, And then of course she's like, they took taxes out. Yeah. You're gonna get them back. It took her a year to get her tax money back, for first filing taxes. But doing these things just really sets them up for success in the future. Aligning all those programs, and that's where the youth entrepreneur market came in with the, I'm not the brainchild of it, but I'm fully vested in the vision. I believe in it. I think it's something that's going to continue every year. Just like the back to school bash does. It supports the community, helps these kids raise some extra money, and just my daughter still, she loves, if she wants her nails done, she doesn't have to worry about asking us, or, are we tight this month? And, because I get sticker shock every time I go to the grocery store. Now I hate going to the grocery store, and I love food, bro. I like eating. I like making cool meals. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to HEB today. But just really teaching them, and helping set them up for success. We want them to still get a secondary education if they want, to go to a trade school, but always having that like success in their back pocket of going, man, if times are tough, I ran my own business, and I don't want to work for somebody, or I have a good idea and I'm scared to make that leap into entrepreneurship. Maybe we've done something with a program like this. And honestly, we would love to see it, expand and become just a model for, other communities to do. A couple of small businesses get together and just say, let's do something for the youth and make something cool that occurs every year and that people look forward to going to, and so that's the premise behind it, just really supporting our youth and, empowering them and making them feel loved and appreciated.
And basically you're giving them a bunch of confidence to understand and believe that they can survive in this world on their own.
Yeah. It's going to help with social skills and teach them networking, and just all this stuff. And we have a really disconnected generation. We do, with cell phones and everything. For you and me, it was being stuck behind when Super Nintendo came out,
right.
Like Contra nonstop or whatnot, and it's just shifted over to a phone, and everything's there. We're all addicted to it to a certain degree. But just really encouraging that growth and outside activity and getting them comfortable talking to people. My daughter would never talk at a drive-through. Took her until she started driving and having to do it by herself. She was embarrassed talking to a person on a speaker, because it's the new era. It is. It's just how life is now with, cell phones and internet and just being connected, even on your watch, if you wear one of those. And so I think it's just reinforcing positive skills and positive traits that even if they don't become an entrepreneur, it's just going to help them, whether they're in college or at a job, just knowing how to communicate effectively. I think that's a lost skill to
absolutely.
Many.
A lot of people, they want to text and they want to read a text, but they'll misconstrue how the wording was supposed to be, thought of. And so anyway, being able to communicate with your mouth in front of someone is a lost thing nowadays. It seems, everybody wants to look on a phone or text or something like that. And it's face to face.
And if they're not used to it, they're uncomfortable doing it. And a college a public school system isn't going to teach them how to be comfortable expressing their ideas and expressing their viewpoints, And so, it's there's a lot that, that we talk about when we talk about that youth entrepreneur market, just what the benefits of it are, and what the successes are going to be out of it. You lift one person up. It was well worth all the extra work. So I appreciate you coming back to that. I work on that as much as I can, and then I go back to Texas Vets, and then I got to do my OH stuff. It's great working from home because I set my own hours, which is absolutely great for my mental health. I got my dog next to me all day long. If I'm tired or I get a headache, I can take a nap. But it's just, working on these projects has really made me realize that, wow, cannabis really has saved my life. It's changed who I am. Next time you talk to my buddy Jason, he could tell you I showed up at his house the first time I ever stayed the night there, and I came rolling in with a 6-pack of freaking IPA. He smoked me out enough though that I think I left and there was still 5 in the fridge.
Nice.
He's like,
well,
hey, bro,
I need to hit Jason up, man. I haven't talked to him since CannaCon. But yeah, good on you for reminding me, man. But well, man, you wear a lot of hats, man, and they are very important ones too, man. In my opinion, I don't see a whole bunch more important than to educate our youth, educate the adult population as well. So I really appreciate all the little pots you have your hand into, man. They're very important messages, man. I appreciate it.
No, thanks for that,
but
Jeff.
with that being said, man, I'd really like to hear what Vetcodes means to you. Has it, have we been able to do anything for you? Have you learned? What has it done for you, my man?
In the few months that I've been here and I haven't been blocked by Zuckerberg, and could post in the group, I'm blocked again. I got blocked day one of opening up our new Facebook page and promoting my buddy's business. It just blocked me from groups, so you won't see me putting my name in the hat for for any bonus giveaways or anything like that. Any waffles, because I can't really comment. I know I can enter another way, but no, honestly, it's just opened up a whole new avenue of and a whole new network of friends. Jason recommended me. I really didn't know what to expect of it. I love seeing all the other gardening picks just because I grow tomatoes every year. You know, I got some pumpkins that are popping out, and I just enjoy growing my own food. It's just therapeutic. I love my wife's gorgeous hibiscus flowers, and so it's great seeing Prez's. You know, I'm jealous of Prez. I see his fucking yard, and I'm like,
yeah.
You know, I was like, man, I can't even get my tomatoes to keep flowering with the temperatures we've been having the last couple of years. But I've already met quite a few cool people. I've gotten some prizes. I also don't need to enter in any giveaways because I'm limited with what I feel comfortable popping into buckets or into potters, and I'm only outside right now. So, but it's mainly just been like the camaraderie and the tips, and I love seeing everybody's pictures. I love seeing the progress. The free seeds are pretty dope. Now I'm in a spot, so I'm like, man, I bought my Afghan Kush and I brought this strawberry cheesecake auto, and I had good luck with the sour D, but man, now I got this cheetah piss that I want to try, and it's like, what do I do? You know, but it's mainly just, I don't know, it feels like a family. And I appreciate that. You know, there's just you taught me why I should wash my weed before I hang it to dry. Lo and behold, here's Brennon going, don't panic. It's organic. It's only been my hands.
There you go.
Who knows what else is falling from the sky into it, drying, answering questions. I've been on a couple of the lives, and have been asking questions or whatnot. You asked me how my first dry went, and I'm limited on space and what I can do. And, I'm like, man, I can't keep my house down to 60 degrees. I don't think it'll stay at 60 here where we live. But it's just really just like the no judgment, being able to get, answers. There's no stupid question, except for the one you don't ask kind of, vibe that I feel within this group. Yep. Everybody seems to be proud of what they're doing and helping each other out, which is fantastic. And, celebrating the medicine that's honestly keeping folks like you and me alive. And it's just building camaraderie, and I mean, I'm excited. I mean, I think we should get a Vetcodes get together somewhere. We just have to pick a location, maybe we say screw it and we all go to Champs in Vegas, or, we go up to Humboldt and do one of their cannabis cups up in NorCal, where a lot of the roots and genealogy from all these strains we're smoking now probably originated up in the Golden Triangle. I mean, I think it would be dope to get together with a whole bunch of y'all. I'm happy to know that you're just right up the road. I owe Jason a visit and go hang out with him and see his grow. And then, I mean, you'll just be a few hours north and we could all get together and hang out.
Hell yeah.
It's a brotherhood and sisterhood, I mean, I never once felt uncomfortable asking a question, which is a testament to what y'all have created.
Hell yeah. Well, that's good to know. I mean, and like you said, the only dumb question is the one you didn't ask. And we like to keep that vibe. Sometimes we have, little attitudes that want to have a conflict, but you know what? You're going to find that everywhere you go.
Yeah.
But it's all like that dysfunctional family, right?
Hey, Jason's giving me some harsh critiques in text, and I'm all butthurt and feeling like it. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to Jason anymore today. And I'm like, no, he's just trying to help me out. I mean, the dude moved some of his indoor plants outdoor to go, I want to see what you're going through. Let me see how I can help you, And I mean, I think in a certain extent, no matter like how experienced you are or what level of grow that you're at, you get pretty prideful on even, a flower that, plant like my autoflower is like this tall and it's throwing out these alien looking greens and purples. And I'm like, it's going to be all nug. And I showed it to you and you're like, that's cool, dude. Might be all flower, I mean, it's what it's doing and we're keeping it alive. But I'm like, I get a little defensive and protective of my girls. Yeah. So, I mean, it's weird. I'm like protective of them. Someone's like, oh, you shouldn't be giving it that. And it's like, screw you, but you're probably right. So I'm going to do it.
Man, I love all the plants for what they are, some plants are just big and out of control, and they just get too big for your tent, right? Other ones want to be a beer can size, you know. You got to love them all just the same because they're still giving you great medicine one way or another.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, I think that's just what's great about this group. You know, we're all protective and we're all very proud, or maybe just kind of confused or baffled about what's going on with it at a certain point in time. Mm-hmm. But I mean, people are going to tell you straightforward what they think is wrong. You know, hey, you know, what's the pH at, or, you know, maybe do this, or maybe just straight water. You know, I'm ready to delve more and figure out why my dries aren't going exactly right, and maybe ways I can improve with what I can do, you know, here in Texas, and being an illegal grow state, you know, figuring out how I can make it better. But it's you know, what I would tell anybody that's in this group, especially if you're new, is just, you know, take everything with a grain of salt. Everybody's here just to try to help you. You know, some might be more forthright and blunt, and that's just their mannerism. You know, they're not trying to insult you. They're just trying to impart some of their knowledge on it, you know. But I know I'll still get my butt hurt if somebody says it looks ugly, or, you know, why did you do that, or whatnot. You know, it's my girl. It's my girl. Gonna be my medicine, you know. But I mean, I take everything and go, you know what? You're right. So, but I'm looking forward to some more videos from y'all, you know, and maybe like digging into unique situations like mine. I have to dry in my closet in my master bathroom. You know, and so, you know, just working through best ways to do it, I think would be cool. So. Well,
I can for sure help you with your drying situation, because I literally am at that point right now where the coolest place in my house is in my closet.
Yeah.
And so, and it stays about 70, may get down to 69 maybe, but it stays at 70. And so I can help you with that though, because I'm going through the same thing.
Awesome, man.
So with that being said, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to thank you again for all that you do for the veteran community and the cannabis community. You know, I can't say that enough. And I'm sure that everybody that's going to be watching this is going to be saying the same thing, man. So keep up the fucking good work. Cool.
Yeah. Hope to see everybody in January 2025.
Hell yeah, man. And so if you get some more stuff, you can post up on Vetcodes, you know, do a post and keep us up to date with that stuff. Yeah. And anyway, thank you for showing up and talking to us about your life and all the stuff that you do, the great work that you do. And so with that, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Remember, it's a recording, and I will get back to you as I can, okay? And so with that, until next time, y'all, happy growing. Brennan, hang on one sec. I'll be right with you, my man.
All right. Peace, everybody.
Later, y'all.